But you know what? Let's go ahead and turn our attention to Dallas Cowboys owner and GM. It is Jerry Jones, brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Jerry, how are we doing today?
Hey, well, we're doing fine today, and glad y'all have gone to a different location, different phone number, and we've been trying to call in for 10 or 15 minutes, but I've got a crack engineering department that knows how to do this stuff.
That's what I'm talking about, Jerry. That's what I'm talking about. You know what? Next time, here's what we'll do. We'll exchange numbers. You can just call me directly next time. Sound good?
There you go.
I do want to let you know my co-host Kevin today. His voice is struggling just a little bit. Is there any way you want to send him some sympathy, or is it all those tough questions he's asked you? You're like, no way he can deal with it.
Well, the man up above has a way of dealing with forked tongue, cynicism. He'll just shut you down. So it's the lesson here is be positive, look for the good in life, and you'll get to talk again.
That's pretty fair. Brad Sham said something like that to me once too. So there you go.
Brad said it. We know is right.
There you go. Jerry, the press conference from Brian Schottenheimer this week was very powerful. And I think, we met him a couple years ago at training camp, and we were like, this guy's the right guy. And then as he became the head coach, we were like, we know what he's capable of. What were your thoughts on the way that he spoke to the media and to the people this week?
Well, Brian's I'm not going to say his best skill. I'm just going to say one of his distinctive skills is his people skills, and he knows how to communicate, and that's a complete must when you're coaching. And he uses it well, and he used it in all coaching circumstances. And in this particular case, which was not a coaching circumstance, it's just a circumstance of human need. And so it didn't surprise me at all. But I know this: it pays. It's good for him to have that aspect of it, and he's very genuine, and he's genuine in all things, and he's genuine when he sits down and tells a player that he needs to be doing better or he's not going to play. Well, that's hard. That's hard conversation. So we're proud of him.
Have you kind of noticed the mood? What's been the temperature around the Star or in the walls of that building? Because I know a lot of people they cared for him, and I know you cared for him. What's been the mood, and how has it maybe changed and looked forward since?
How did this happen? How in the world does this happen? And then, of course, those are the questions in these circumstances that are asked. He just had such really caring atmosphere around it. There's no question that he had things that from time to time were on his mind. You look back, you look at his personality, kind of the way he handled things, and you say, well, boy, that's probably a sign that it needed some extra attention. But it's just really, I would say, and I'm not expressing that for myself, really. I'm just saying my feeling is that everybody is just a little dumbfounded, much less the saw that's involved here, but everybody involved.
Yeah, absolutely. I was kind of thinking about this as these guys get ready to take the field on Monday night. They're all talking to each other. They're talking to themselves. Jerry, can you kind of take it back to your playing days? If something like this had happened to you and around you, what would you say to yourself before you put that helmet on and headed out of the locker room?
Well, I think it was therapeutic. It gives you you're fortunate in that you've got that to dwell on. That's your play. I'll never forget when I was a junior, John Kennedy got killed. And we played a game on Saturday, and I think his assassination occurred there Wednesday or Thursday. But I'll never forget, you had, of course, protesters saying we shouldn't be playing the game, and but that was at Arkansas where we were playing, and different schools did it different ways. But I know just that early, which wasn't you'd say the same circumstances, but just that early, it really caused you to get your mind on away from the tragedy.
And also, I was kind of curious, Jerry, who do you turn to when times are tough? You work with family, you have them around all the time. Whenever things get really tough, who is it that you lean on the most?
Oh, I have absolutely for me, I have the most special support group you've ever seen, and it is they're always there, and I know they're there, and so it really has helped me over the years in my downtimes. And the main thing is, I want to say right now, is you're not doing anything if you don't have downtimes, and you don't have troubling times, and you don't have times that you don't see your way out. That is a part of life. It makes the good times better, really. But it's you dealt with, and it's always made me want to, especially young people, especially kids, and whatever I could say that would tell them it's never so serious, or never so non-rehabilitating, whatever the incident is, that their son's not going to come up. And so I think that being involved competitively, it's like the players we're talking about. It's actually therapeutic to get out here and practice this week and actually play. I get that because you're lucky. You can put your mind on something else.
Yeah, it's the chapel we turn to. It definitely is. Jerry, one of the people that I know you had a good relationship was Al Davis. Do you ever miss mixing it up with him and having that relationship with him?
I do, and always have. Why I appreciated Al so much is just that. I'll never forget, we had won one football game. We were just being so criticized for having won one football game our first year with the Dallas Cowboys. And everybody was low. And Al and John Madden called me, and of course they were running buddies and real. Of course, John coached for Al, but they were real tight, real friends. And they got me on the phone, and they said, "We just wanted to call you and tell you you didn't lose the team, and I've won one game, but didn't lose the team." I had a ball that was signed by Herschel Walker commemorating that one win, and I was as proud of that as maybe a future Super Bowl trophy. But I laughed.
Today on Cowboys Nation Report, we need to have a real conversation about what the Dallas Cowboys are facing over these next few weeks, because this stretch right here, this run against the NFC North and the Los Angeles Chargers could decide everything. The entire season, the future of this team, the playoff hopes that have survived every emotional swing, every injury, every storyline, every doubt thrown their way. And what is incredible is that despite all the turbulence, despite all the noise, despite the most chaotic 2025 schedule the Cowboys have endured in years, they are still right here in the fight. Bruised, inconsistent, unpredictable, yet fully alive in the NFC playoff race. And the fact that they're even in this position after the storm they've been through is not just surprising, it's unbelievable. Let's start with the core truth that every Cowboys fan needs to hear today. This team has been tested harder than almost any other squad in the NFL this season. The bye week did not offer relief. The Thanksgiving gauntlet was brutal. 3 games in 11 days drained every ounce of energy the Cowboys had stored. They survived it, but they didn't walk out unscathed. They came out battered, questioning, searching for answers that aren't always easy to find this deep into a season. But that is what makes where they stand right now even more impressive. They are still swinging, still fighting, still competing in a loaded NFC race where every week feels like a playoff scenario. And now, to take the next step, to push themselves toward the finish line, they must go through the NFC North, the Lions, the Vikings, and then the unpredictability of the Chargers. And these next games, these 3 battles, represent not just challenges, they represent opportunity. Because the truth is simple. Big wins against the NFC North can absolutely propel the Dallas Cowboys toward the playoffs. This is where the season turns. This is where the road either opens up or closes for good. This is where Dallas decides who they truly are. Let's back down what's coming. Week 14, Thursday Night Football, at Detroit. This is not just a game. This is a battlefield. This is a test of endurance, of grit, of willpower. Both teams will be exhausted. Both teams will be battered after the Thanksgiving gauntlet. Both teams will be stepping onto that field having played 4 games in just 18 days. That is insanity by NFL standards. That is the kind of schedule that breaks teams mentally before it breaks them physically. And yet, this game has all the makings of a classic. Ford Field is going to be electric. Jared Goff thrives in controlled environments, and Detroit has a full arsenal of weapons ready to light up the scoreboard. This game screams offense. It screams chaos. It screams unpredictability and big plays and momentum swings that leave fans breathless. But here's the part everyone needs to understand. Dak Prescott and this Cowboys offense are built for moments like this. CeeDee Lamb continues to prove he can be the best receiver on any field he steps onto. George Pickens is still adapting to the system, but has shown flashes of being a game-changing presence. Jake Ferguson has developed into a consistent, reliable option who can break games open in the red zone. And when the running game is healthy, it provides exactly what this offense needs to stay balanced and dangerous. This matchup is not one-sided. This is strength versus strength. Desperation versus desperation. 2 teams trying to stay relevant in a playoff race that is suffocating for everyone involved. But here's the part everyone needs to understand. But the prediction in the source material says Detroit pulls it out at the end. I'll tell you what though, when you look at Detroit's defense and their inconsistency in late-game situations, and when you look at Dallas's ability to create offensive fireworks on national stages, this game is not a foregone conclusion. In fact, this is exactly the type of matchup where Dak Prescott historically rises. Don't forget, Dak on national TV is one of the most prolific quarterbacks of the last decade. Dallas may be underdogs on paper, but they are not stepping into that stadium doomed. They are stepping in with the tools to win. And if they clean up just a few details, it could be the Cowboys making that final statement drive instead of the Lions. Then comes Week 15. Sunday Night Football at AT&T Stadium hosting the Minnesota Vikings. And this game right here has Cowboys resurgence written all over it. After 2 straight road games and a punishing month of travel, Dallas finally returns home. And that matters. It matters because AT&T Stadium is where Dak Prescott traditionally delivers some of his best, most confident, most explosive performances. It matters because home games bring rhythm, they bring comfort, they bring stability to a team that desperately needs it. Minnesota will not be an easy opponent, not with J.J. McCarthy returning from injury, not with Justin Jefferson running routes like only he can, not with Jordan Addison emerging as a legitimate complement, and not with T.J. Hawkinson being one of the toughest tight end matchups in football. And yes, Aaron Jones has historically been a nightmare for the Cowboys. Everyone remembers what he did in Green Bay. But this is where the story shifts, because this is where Dallas finally gets the defensive edge. Playing at home, playing with a pass rush that, when fully intact and aggressive, can disrupt young quarterbacks. Playing in a stadium where they feed off energy and momentum that gains speed quickly. The Vikings are talented, but they are also inconsistent, and that's exactly the type of opponent Dak Prescott can bury early with a fast start. And if that happens, this could be the Cowboys' most complete performance of the season. Then comes Week 16. Los Angeles, the Chargers, the most unpredictable team in football. Justin Herbert can look like the best quarterback in the league one week and then lose to a struggling team the next. They've beaten Kansas City, Minnesota, Denver, and Pittsburgh, but have collapsed against New York and Washington. This inconsistency makes them dangerous, but also vulnerable. And this time, Dallas has the advantage of being at home yet again. With the Cowboys' offense performing significantly better on home turf, this matchup becomes one where Dallas can dictate the pace. Herbert will make plays, but the Cowboys can counter with their own explosiveness on offense and just enough pressure on defense to tilt the game. And this is what really matters. If the Cowboys take care of business, if they capitalize on their strengths, if they protect home field, they can exit this stretch at 7-1 and be right in the heart of the NFC wildcard race. And for a team that has been through the emotional roller coaster of the 2025 season, that is more than survival. That is opportunity. That is momentum. That is belief becoming reality. But let's add additional context from around the league because there are key external factors that benefit Dallas right now. Teams currently fighting for wildcard spots are inconsistent at best. Seattle has struggled to close out games, especially defensively. Philadelphia, after the early season high, has shown significant cracks due to injuries and a declining secondary. The Green Bay Packers, who tied the Cowboys earlier this year, have not found their footing on offense. The Falcons and Saints keep cannibalizing each other in the NFC South, and the Rams continue to be a mystery depending on Matthew Stafford's weekly health. What does all that mean? It means the door is open. And when you have an open door and a quarterback like Dak Prescott, you have a chance. When you have playmakers like CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson and emerging weapons like George Pickens, you have a chance. And when you have a defense that, even through all the chaos, still ranks among the top half of the league in pressure rate and turnover creation, you have a chance. And when you combine all of that with back-to-back home games at a critical moment, you don't just have a chance, you have a pathway. This is why this stretch matters. This is why Cowboys Nation needs to believe. Because the season is far from over, and the toughest part is not behind them, but the most defining part may be right in front of them. The Cowboys control their destiny more than people realize, and if they deliver the way they are capable of delivering, this 2025 season may still have a playoff ending. So I want to know what you think. Can the Cowboys take down Detroit, Minnesota, and Los Angeles in this crucial stretch? Do you believe Dallas has the firepower to stay alive in the NFC playoff race? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button to support the channel, and subscribe to Cowboys Nation Report for daily videos, reactions, breakdowns, and everything you need to stay locked in with America's team.